Mark, just let's get your thoughts on that 6-2-1 9-game road trip. Obviously broken up by the AHL All-Star Game. But what were your overall feelings about your trip?
I thought it was a good trip. I mean, the record speaks for itself, but our backs were kind of up against the wall on that trip. As we lost some games in a row there, and we go on a 9-game trip. We had to make something out of that trip to crawl back up the standings and the ladder a little bit. So the players responded real well, and there were some hard games, some hard travel, and it was a tiring trip. But I thought, considering everything that we went through, they did a great job.
Did you get that sense? I mean, you mentioned a little bit in that answer, but that the players really understood how important this road trip was, really took that to heart, and obviously responded.
100%. I think everybody knew the position that we were in, especially them, and understood that we had to perform. And the effort was always there, but I thought our execution was a lot better on the road. I don't think our effort has ever been low. I think it's always been there, even the games on the losing streak. I thought we were always working. So execution and, the effort combined won some games.
Coach, you talked about obviously backs against the wall. Could you just maybe put into words, now you guys come back home, next 6 games, how crucial this next 6-game homestand is?
Yeah, very important. Especially once you start playing better and you start getting some results, and I think the confidence level is up and players are starting to feel better about themselves. There's a lot of emotion in the dressing room now compared to what it was like a month ago. It was fairly quiet. So all that combined, I think it's real important that we use this momentum in the right way and continue to move forward. I think there's only 27, 28 games left here, and so not a lot of time. These games are all very important.
You guys obviously went through the tough stretch, but now you guys have bounced back quite admirably. I think because there's been a lot made about just the team, how young it is and stuff like that, it could be easy for a young team to just kind of fold and give up when the back is against the wall. But could you maybe just talk about what that showed you the past, the resiliency I imagine you had to have been pleased with?
Yeah, that's a good point, and I think that it's you always need your veteran group to be the backbone of those situations when your team is down. But I just felt like our young guys also learned a lot about themselves and about this league and about how hard pro hockey is. And I think the combination of both the veteran players and the young players both responded very well, and those are learning curves for the young guys, and I thought that they're just as responsible for helping us get through this as anybody. So great learning curve, and I can't say enough about how they've responded to it.
Could you also just talk about just from the beginning of the season to now this point, the development that you have seen just across the board and generally, obviously, with just some of the young guys?
Well, it's funny because you see them kind of hit a wall a little bit. Like it's hard and a lot of travel and things that they haven't experienced before. So I think that up until the All-Star break anyway, I thought that the energy was starting to dip a little bit on some of the younger guys. But all the credit to them, they have fought through it, found ways to perform or found ways to bring things to the team that maybe all the energy is not there, but they still play great defensive hockey. So I think they've learned a lot and they've come a long ways. And I know you never want to say that losing is part of development, but for sure them grinding through that and showing that they can get through it with playing a smart game shows growth.
Got some reinforcements from
yeah, and that's always nice to have some reinforcements, especially those quality guys. And again, I can't say enough about those guys that come down, Gustafsson, Toninato, Fialbi, such great attitudes, which good players and really show everybody the right way on the ice. But even better, they have great attitudes and they show all the young guys like, hey, it's day by day, you got to get better every day here. And I really commend those guys.
Just quickly about the move to assign Oskari Salmon into the ECHL, and obviously that means that Thomas Millage, you liked what you saw, and obviously you played him 6 of the 9 games on the road.
Yeah, I mean, that you could read that all sorts of ways. Like, he gave us a little bit of life, so we kept playing him, and sometimes when a team gets behind a goalie like that, it's beneficial. You get a little bit of confidence in the back end. So he's been real good. He's been real solid. He's made the saves that he's supposed to make, and And some, he's made timely saves for us where, teams could have crawled back into the game, but he'll make a big save and gets everybody going again. So, yeah, really like for a young kid like what we've seen there. And, we'll see. We'll keep on playing him as long as he's playing the way he has been.
That was a tough conversation to have with Oscari sending him to Norfolk?
I guess a little bit, but the one thing about Ascari handled it really well. He wants to play hockey. He doesn't want to sit on the bench. He wants to get out and play games, and that's the only way he's going to get better. So he again handled it very well, and I'm not going to say he was super excited, but he does want to play hockey games, so he was okay with it.
Just from a health perspective, I know that Wide Bongiovanni was often out in some games, but played in some. Are you guys a healthy team overall? Is there anybody dealing with anything ahead of the game against Milwaukee tomorrow?
No, we are all healthy. We just have some extra bodies that if we're back to back, we're going to put fresh lines out. And I think we swapped a whole line out for another line on the second Calgary game, and we're just putting fresh legs in. There's nobody's injured.
Just last one for me on the Milwaukee Admirals. I mean, what is, as a coaching staff, when you look at that team, a team that hasn't lost in 24, they're 15-0-0, what do you look at when you're assessing them, saying, look, we're on a good run, but these guys are on an amazing run?
Well, we played them. They're one of the games that we lost on the road, so we didn't play them that long ago, and we felt like for the first half of the game we were up 2-0 and in a pretty good situation. But they kept playing the same way, so we know they're very consistent with their game. That's why they are where they are. But we, as a group, I think that first half of the game have a lot of confidence in this game tomorrow. I think we feel like we can play with them, and I also think that it's a great challenge for us that they're willing to take on, as we talked about after practice.